going into the gameplay itself, since there is no other gameplay besides multiplayer, which is literally Overwatch 1, but with one less hero, the biggest like thing to address, I guess, is like going from 6v6 to 5v5.
I was gonna moist meter Overwatch 2, but then I thought that that's not fair considering the big bulk of what makes it a sequel isn't even out yet, with the story mode or PvE.
Yeah, right, exactly what I was saying earlier.
Multiplayer, which is basically still just Overwatch 1 with some
also exactly what I said earlier.
So instead of doing I'm going Insano style, I'm entering a flow state.
Every time he says Insano style, I don't know why I always think, well, I do know why, because what's it called? His super old gamer tag used to be Mob O Insano. And I always just think of that every time he says that. Random, unrelated thought, I guess.
35 hours, make fun of it and be upset by it, go out of my way to be offended by its existence.
It's a great way to live life, by the way. Just be the biggest hater you can be.
Bullet sponges, just shooting at meat, charging alt, and then dumping alts all at the same time, rinse and repeat. It wasn't very fun. Nothing but massive.
So I will say about that, kind of, but I also feel like with Overwatch 2, it's kind of harder to kill everyone in Overwatch 2 in particular. I don't know, but that was kind of a thing too, though. Like when I was talking about shields earlier, a lot of Overwatch 1, like when the more tanks heroes they came out with, the more shields they came out with. So a lot of the game just became like shooting at shields, and it's like, all right, cool, I broke Orisha's shield. Now we still have Reinhardt's shield, and then by the time you get a quarter of the way through Reinhardt's shield, Orisa has another shield back up, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Overwatch check-in annually, just to go in there and
hate the game.
And get upset by it.
To be fair though, that's just how you play Overwatch. You're just mad. That's really the only like state. It's like brain dead and mad. Those are the only ways you can play.
But surprisingly, that hasn't been the case.
Ooh, he's addicted.
Which is a bigger shock than when Hank Schrader found out that Walter... It's far from perfect, so I want to immediately jump into the things that are wrong with the game. So first of all...
I'm guessing that's where the majority of this 13 minutes comes from.
Probably awful launch. Queue times that would go fucking hours.
Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about that bullshit.
In this endless purgatory waiting to play the game. I believe it was due to being DDoSed. I think that's what Blizzard said was the main cause.
I think Blizzard DDoSed themselves so that they had something to blame it on.
Another big problem with it is the needing a mobile number in order to play.
Yeah, that was straight bullshit. I don't think I ever talked about that, but that really was bullshit. Somebody even commented on one of my I forgot what short it was, but one of the shorts I posted, and they were just like pretty upset that they couldn't play the game because of the mobile number. Admiral had that issue too, though, with like his mobile number already being taken somehow, which isn't like specific to Overwatch. It's just like a Battle.net thing, but like that's a really shitty, just like overall thing to require a cell phone number to be able to play a fucking video game. I think that's really stupid. Like, I already hate when games make you sign up like for an account to play a game, and having to put in your cell phone number and shit is like really close second. Like, that's just really fucking dumb. Like, it's a game, just let me play the fucking game.
It's not really a sequel in terms of its multiplayer. It's basically Overwatch update.
They're like, nope, 2. It's a second game.
Because that's... They
told us back in 2019 or whatever that they're gonna have a second game. They were like, all right, I guess we gotta put something out now. Like, I think what happened was like some media guy must have just like taken a bunch of drugs or something like that and accidentally uploaded that video, and they're like, what the fuck? So now they had to do something, and this was the something.
Overwatch 1.5.
1.3.1, but only because they added 2 characters. Out of spite, we should start mass producing Overwatch R34. It's my conspiracy, but I still think that the reason that they were so hard on like trying to crack down on like R34 for Overwatch was because the devs were like, that was like a side hustle for them. They were making money off of the porn, and they're like, no, if everybody makes porn, then I can't make as much money. I still think that's the only reason why they care. Think what else this logo is dark color and orange. Dude, see? The more you think about it, Admiral, the more the conspiracy starts to line up, man, I'm telling you. It's no coincidence this is similar to the hub. Cut to us playing 4 minutes and 33 seconds of uniqueness. We're making good progress though. What's that, like a little less than a third of the way? No! What happened? I think we lost. But like when I first played the game, I didn't really notice that big of a difference in like 5v5 and 6v6. But then as I played more, I did notice some things that were not all of these are necessarily like issues or negative, just like things I've noticed, I guess. But like I noticed people like use shields less. That's not necessarily a negative, but just something I noticed. Shield busting is a lot easier, which also isn't necessarily negative, unless your character that you made is a shield character like Ryan or Brig. Healers seem more powerful, which not necessarily bad, but then the strats just switch to, okay, if I'm playing a tank, I'm just going to tank my way through their team, kill the healer, and then hopefully the rest of my team's competent enough to just wipe everyone else. And it's really all you got to do is just like chase down the healer, or two, I guess if you're playing open queue or however many there are. One thing that is for sure a negative is spawn tramping is significantly more common in this game. I can count on one hand how many times that's happened to me in Overwatch 1, and it's probably already happened the same amount or if not more times than Overwatch 2. I still don't know what it is about having 5 characters on the team that makes spawn trapping the other team so like easy, or getting spawn trapped for like the majority of the game so easy. I still don't know what it is, but like it's for sure it has to be some kind of side effect of that, because I can't think of anything else. That's really the only difference. Another thing I noticed too, people say that Overwatch 2 is faster paced, which I really don't get that argument at all. Like, there's one less hero to kill on each team, but that doesn't make like the payload move faster through the map or anything. It still feels the same to me, anyway. But yeah, I don't know. And then lastly, I guess with role queue. So I haven't played role queue. I fucking hate role queue. But I feel like being limited to 5 players is a bigger deal in role queue than having 6, because like one position's gonna only have one person playing it. If that one person is struggling, you now don't have that flexibility to go back them up like if you're in role queue. You can't flex to different positions. You can't pull somebody off a different position to go help them out or whatever. Like they're just kind of screwed. And if they're screwed, then you lost the game. Like it's just as simple as that. Because the whole shit I was talking about earlier, like if you start slipping in Overwatch 2 with 5v5, like you're just kind of screwed and it's going to be that way. So I don't know. I feel like 5v5 most definitely has negatives, and I can't really think of a positive. I don't know. That's just me.
The biggest one by far is the switch from 6v6
Sheesh.
to 5v5.
Sheesh.
It is an extraordinary breath of fresh air.
Is it?
The biggest problem with Overwatch 1, as I mentioned...
Oh, that's true. He doesn't like the tanks. So I guess he does. I guess that would be a pro for him then. Which I guess is not necessarily a con for me, but I can't think of any, from my perspective, I can't think of any good things that came from it. Because even with, well, again, too, so I guess you have to take this from this perspective. He probably plays ranked, and he probably plays role queue. When you play open queue, that's not as much as a problem, because people kind of meme out more. And even when people do take it seriously, with it being open queue, you can flex more to counter people's constant use of, like, double shields. So it wasn't really that big of an issue for me, but I guess I hadn't thought about it from the perspective of being locked into a fucking role. Which, yeah, I guess that would be extremely frustrating.
5v5 speeds up the pacing a ton.
I don't get it. How?
You have healer, like Zenyatta can pop off. You have much more of an impact on the outcome of the game. You're able to actually get picks more. You're able to actually have fights. Like, it's no longer just shoot at the team shield till it breaks and you get your ult.
I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, like comp or role queue, maybe that's just a completely different world, because I did not have that issue. Like at first when like the Ghosts meta came out, where it was like double shield or like double bubble, whatever the fuck they called it, that was like annoying at first, but then with your ability to just pick someone else in a different role, you can like easily bypass that, and that was never really like a long lasting issue for me. But also I did play Overwatch 1 more than him, I guess, so maybe it's not an issue for people in comp either, or role queue either, but I guess if you don't play the game that much because you're tired of it, and then you have to deal with that, then yeah, I can see that like leaving a lasting impression.
There's a single person who's played Overwatch 2 right now that says they preferred 6v6.
I'm the one person. I prefer 6v6, TBH.
Seen that take anywhere. Not on Twitter, not on Reddit.
You heard it here first, guys. This is the first place in the entire universe that prefers 6v6.
Put a finger up their ass and be like, damn, I miss the good old days when you could have 2 tanks and nothing for 45 minutes. So I hate that. It's such a welcome
It just still doesn't feel faster to me though. I can try playing role queue, I guess, in Overwatch 2 today and seeing and like trying not to stab myself in the fucking throat from the boredom of being stuck into a single fucking role for an entire match and then just having to like eat that shit when my team sucks ass, but I don't know. I can try it, but it doesn't feel faster. There's nothing faster about the game. The only thing, like, the main difference from 5v5 is that, like, you could be shooting some DPS character, right? And the second that, like, Kiriko hits left click on them, they're at full health again. So now you have to go through, like, 6 fucking magazines and hope you don't get killed before you can, like, get them down to half health again to have a chance at killing them. That's how, I don't know, that's how I've seen it. And I don't know, I feel like 6v6 was more fun. There was more people to kill. There was, like, more shit just happening. But I guess that's just me. Me on my little lonely rock.
Overwatch 2
My little
does is
6v6 rock.